Hello, and welcome to Friday Reads, where I tell you what I'm reading this weekend and review last week's pick. This week, I am talking about my last Friday Reads, which was The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. And I did finish this book, and so I told you last week that I had no idea what this book was about. And it's true, I went into this book having no clue, but I ended up really enjoying it. It is about a nurse named Lib who served under Florence Nightingale, and it's set in the 1850s, late 1850s in Ireland. And Lib has been sent to care for / keep a close eye on this 11-year-old girl named Anna who claims that she hasn't eaten in 4 months. But she still is a healthy, living child, and it's all due to her faith and manna from God that is keeping her alive. So Lib finds this out only after she gets to Ireland, and she realizes she's not there to care for the child, but to watch the child to make sure she's not actually eating anything, and find out why she seems so healthy if she's really not eating. Is it a miracle? Is it an act of God? Is she secretly eating? Lib is on a mission to find out. Now, you may not know this about me, you might, but I am an American religious historian, but more importantly, I'm sort of obsessed with like weird extreme practices in religion. And so the idea of this character, Anna, is super intriguing to me. Emma Donoghue actually based Anna off a series of women and young girls from the 1600s all the way up through the 1900s called, well, generally the fasting girls. And these were young women and young girls who claimed just what the character in this book is claiming, that they don't eat, or maybe they only eat when they take communion, and yet they are living and they are healthy, and it is because of their faith in God that they are so. And I am just so intrigued with the practice of that and the psychology of that. And I thought that Emma Donoghue did a really nice job of capturing that spirit, but also playing off that with Lib, who is not a person who believes in God, who is very much a nurse and who cares a lot about science and the body and what you can see and study. So this is very different than Room. I read Room last year and I enjoyed that book, but this is a totally different reading experience. If I didn't already know it was the same author, I would never have guessed that these two books were written by the same person, but I loved The Wonder. I thought it was really well done. I liked the time period and the setting and the characters, so definitely one to pick up. It is The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. So this week, my Friday Reads is Olive Kitteridge by Elizabeth Strout. Now, if you listen to the Game and Read podcast, you will have heard me say that my mom and I are doing a year of Pulitzers where we're reading a book that has won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction at some point. And for January, Olive Kitteridge is our book. So I am about halfway through it so far. It is a collection of linked short stories. So the short stories all take place in this town, in this world, in, oh goodness gracious, Maine, Crosby, Maine. And so it follows different people who live in Crosby. But the tie that binds, the thing that links them all together, is Olive Kitteridge, a retired school teacher and a big old personality. And some of the stories take place with Olive and her husband Henry and their son Christopher. Some of them take place in other people's lives, and Olive makes a sort of side appearance in it, but she is not the main focus of that story. So it is really interesting. I haven't read anything by Elizabeth Strout. I know she came out with My Name is Lucy Barton, I think last year, the year before. That was really well received. But this is the first I have read from her, and I'm just really enjoying it so far. It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Professor's House by Willa Cather and Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, and that it's sort of this quiet story, these quiet stories, but not without drama and a little bit of conflict, and in some cases, a lot of conflict. So that is Olive Kitteridge. It won the Pulitzer Prize in 2009 and is Aaron and Kirsten's Year Pulitzer January pick. So that is what I am reading this weekend. That's all I've got for this week's Friday Reads. You can watch all my other Friday Reads and Peter and I's videos, discussions, and see our podcasts and book reviews and everything else that we do over at gameandread.com. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Litzy. We are at Game and Read. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.